Sup everyone, but wait a minute, hold your horses. I know exactly what you're here for, right? Either you want more drama or you're actually legitimately hoping for a change, or you're curious what's going on. Is Dehya's actually getting a buff? I'm going to be covering everything that's been happening in the last couple of weeks because, as you guys know, I haven't really followed video to video for Dehya's changes and whatnot. But today I'm gonna kind of share with you guys what the hell is going on with this character. As you guys can read in the title, Genshin Impact wants fan feedback on Dehya. What the hell is going on? Right? Like, why are people talking about this? You might even heard about people saying potentially Hoyoverse is going to make changes to Dehya, and how exactly that is going to happen, and why people even have this hopium kind of reignited under their butt cheeks even after her banner's gone. So to kind of shorten everything, there's a section in the feedbacks where Hoyoverse is asking for specific feedback when it comes to Dehya. And it's exactly this section of the feedback that has driven so much hopium into everyone's bloodstream. Right now, everybody's thinking Hoyoverse actually cares and they're looking for ways to change Dehya. So everyone's now currently flocking towards this like moth towards a flame. But do remember, okay, this part of the feedback section is available in previous feedbacks as well. They always want our feedbacks pertaining to certain character. In my opinion, this time is no different. Now, the only difference is going to be that there's going to be an overly whelming amount of negativity when it comes to Dehya's performance, and people are going to be demanding change. After looking through the Dehya main subreddit, there's a lot of them who have written certain feedbacks when it comes to Dehya, even outside of the specified character feedback section. Now, how much Hoyoverse actually reads bodies of essay text that are talking about specific character inadequacies, where it starts off with kind of derogatory or straight up harassment, I don't know, right? Are they going to even bother reading past the first two sentences if you start with "you dumb ass mother"? So my whole point is that when people write these kind of comments, a lot of the times they just kind of go unfiltered. But back to the topic of Dehya buffs. There's a couple of ways that this can actually happen, right? There could actually be legitimate information provided by the general player base in order for Hoyoverse to actually gauge a certain response, because right now the metric they have is not a lot of people pull for her. They didn't make a lot of money, right? Monetary wise, they already have the data while Dehya failed. Tough luck. What else are they gonna do about it though? But what else do they have to go off of? How many people are playing her? How many people are building her? Right? Out of the players who already pulled her, how many are starting to drop her? How many actually bring her into multiple aspects of the game? Events, Abyss, general overworld. How is she being utilized within the game? They have all that data, but what they don't have is general player feedback. What I'm going to do in today's video is also share with you what the EM players, well, I guess the Dehya mains currently right now, is really pinpointing as her issue. Now, I'm going to give you guys a bit of the CN's perspective on this towards the end when it comes to changes and whatnot. I did mention CN in a video in the past, but I'm just going to update you guys on what's going on over there, because some of you guys think that Hoyoverse only listens to CN, so if CN doesn't care, Hoyoverse not going to do anything, which isn't necessarily true. But let's first show you guys the Reddit post to specify the problem, so you guys, if you are on the fence about this stuff, even just copy and pasting stuff, you can go and do this and just submit it, so you guys can actually help out the Dehya mains or just Dehya herself in potentially getting some changes. Now, here's the first one. This one kind of outlines certain issues with the character. It's labeled out in bullet points and it's very well organized. It's pretty much summarized everything up until like a couple days ago that is wrong with the character. These issues, you can find certain ones that you find that resonates with your complaints about the character, or you just pick random ones and throw them in the character feedback section. Anything is going to help, right? The whole point here is to get enough traction to the point where Hoyoverse is going to pay attention. If every other post they receive or every other feedback they receive is going to be talking about Dehya changes and stuff like that, and it specifies very, very coherently here the problem, then you're going to be able to have a much higher chance of getting some sort of change. But first, let me take a pause for you guys when people think that this is a similar situation to Zhongli. I've seen this being thrown around as well, being like they did it with Zhongli and this is how they did it, so they're gonna do the same with Dehya. There's a certain group of people who seem to have already convinced themselves that this is going to happen because there's enough evidence pointing towards the like a past previous case, right? But understand that with Zhongli, the amount of people that was demanding a buff was just like volumes different. The game was brand new at the time. There was a lot of pressure when it comes to Hoyoverse to satisfy their player base, because at the time Hoyoverse had never had a title that successful. Genshin was blowing the hell up. into all heavens, right? They couldn't even contain the popularity even if they tried. And at a moment like that, if you let the players down, if you have such negative press at the point where, oh look, Hoiverse releasing Archon tier characters, I mean, like the best characters in the game in this underperforming state, how do you think that's going to affect their press and PR going forward, right? They did not want to lose momentum for such a trivial thing, and the fact that they buffed Zhongli will also benefit them monetarily down the line. That's one of the main driving factors. They also buffed Zhongli. A lot of the times people like to just think we are the ones who made the change, we are the ones who made it happen. Well, yes, you guys complaining and also mentioning out the flaws of Zhongli definitely contributed to the change. You guys were not the end-all be-all defining reason that Hoiverse made that change, and this time it's very different, right? The stakes here are very different from Zhongli. Dehya is a standard banner character first and foremost, and we're also at the point in the game where who cares if Hoiverse gets a little bit of negative press here and there, like as if they've not gotten a lot of this already in the last year. Since the first year anniversary, they've been getting a lot of people kind of talking down about the game, right? But the people who love the game will always love the game. Hoiverse has done enough in Genshin that the stable player base is going to continue supporting the game regardless, and they're running ads to newer audiences as well who are constantly pouring into the game. So at this point, they don't have anything to lose. There's really nothing we can do if they just decide to not do anything with Dehya, right? This is the whole point, that even though we can try our best to get as much attention to this as possible and get people acting on it, strike the iron when it's hot, if you guys miss this opportunity to actually leave it in the feedbacks, all hope is lost. There's never going to be another scenario opportunity where you can gather enough people to make this happen. So that's why I urge you all to look at this. I'm going to leave all the links to all the Reddit threads that I'm showing you right now down in the description, so you guys can go check them out for yourself. Make sure to double check, all right, and copy and paste whatever you need into your feedbacks if you haven't done that already. Now that's the list for the problems. Now here's also another thing showcasing you this specific section that people have been highlighting that Hoiverse is doing, right, based on your actual usability, with her design, blah blah blah, and everything like this. So this is a section you should be keeping your eye off. But if you guys are avid feedbackers, meaning that you do feedbacks all the time, you'll know that they do this for all the characters, right? They always want to know how do you feel about the characters, right, blah blah blah. And it doesn't matter what you write in here, it seems like nothing has ever happened to any of the characters, but that could also be because there's a lack of response due to characters being okay. So what I'm saying is, right, like characters have never come out to perform this poorly, and that's why this is being focused on so much, because right, people never really paid attention to the fact there's a whole section in the feedbacks just for characters. Which is crazy, because now that it's come to this, we're just grabbing onto every bit of hope that is possible, right? Just pour it all in there. Moving on, we got an entire list of Dehya issues, including all the bugs and issues. So if you guys think Dehya is no problem, you guys are thinking she's completely fine, you can take a look at this list. It has video proof of everything that is mentioned. It's very comprehensive and a lot of work has gone into this. As you guys can see, Dehya mains are very serious about what they do here, right? Like their whole point is to get justice for the character. They never want her to be broken. They just want her to be normal. They just want an average level of performance for the character and not have her be the laughing stock of every other mains in the community. I'm not going to show you guys everything here. I think it's better if you guys just go in and go look at it yourself. That's why, again, this link will be provided in the description below. And now let's talk a little bit about CN, right? Like while EN is this gung-ho when it comes to getting changes for Dehya, what is CN doing? Well, the vast majority of the CN community is just nonchalant about this. They don't really care. They have no preference. They kind of are looking towards 3.6 already, to be quite honest with you. And there's just not enough traction over there. So you can pretty much say that there's going to be no pushback from the CN side. Now, this could be because that they've just accepted the fate for Dehya being a standard banner character and being weak, or they're just not as interested, or a combination of both, right? From the people that I have seen talk on forums, it's very rare nowadays to see people talk about Dehya. I mean, it does pop up here and there, but it's not like the conversation is still centered around her. People are looking forward, and Dehya, unfortunately, is already a relic of past. A glimmer of hope is that in the communities that I have seen are talking about Dehya, they're actually quite curious as to what Yen is doing. In a way, they're trying to kind of find the things that are making sense over here, and they're taking it over there and breaking it down and seeing if they can kind of do something with it as well. So that hasn't changed from maybe a couple weeks ago. They're definitely avid contributors to trying to solve this problem. It's just that they're very small in numbers, so they likely cannot get a big enough movement going on over there to help you guys push Hoyoverse from both sides, which is really unfortunate. I do think that right now the game absolutely needs its players to band together, but we'll see how that turns out. Finally, to leave you guys with something a little more happy, right? Because if you guys haven't seen the notes for the next patch or notes for bug fixes, what this is referring to is Hoyoverse is making changes to Mika's charge attack, because apparently right now it's using 5 less stamina than needed. So that's a big issue, big enough. Apparently they had to make a post about it and saying, oh no, we have to fix this is like too broken. But yeah, when the worst 5-star to date has been released, they literally don't seem to care. Again, this just shows that you guys would not believe how much attention Hoyoverse is putting towards the detail of Genshin Impact. Like, they are noticing little things like this, and you're telling me they don't notice how poorly Dehya is performing, right? Of course not. They know what's happening. They're very aware of what's happening. It's just they're choosing to stay silent, which it's a powerful move by Hoyoverse. Yep, with all that said, this is the current situation. Is it guaranteed to happen? No. Is it likely it's going to happen? No. Is it potentially one of the largest movement we've had since the anniversary debacle? Kind of, yeah. We need to keep our expectations in check, right? Just because people are bringing this into attention doesn't mean anything's going to change. At most, a couple thousand people are going to put in their responses, if even that, and let's see how Hoyoverse responds. Fingers crossed, but yeah, I'll see you guys in today's live stream. We can talk more about this then. Till then, urge you all to stay safe. Peace, and bye.